In the year 2627, the United Earth Alliance had become a strong and powerful confederation within the galaxy. On a new and seemingly uneventful day, an exploratory deep space vessel reported back that they had scanned what seemed to point towards the lost city of Atlantis. The United Earth Alliance Council sat in session and agreed that the discovery needed further investigation. It was decided that using a long-range science vessel, a crew would embark on a daring mission to explore the lost city of Atlantis, nestled on the remote water-filled planet of Hydra Kaon 5. Delta S1, an elite special ops team who worked for the armed forces, was handpicked for the expedition due to their tactical abilities and outside-of-the-box thinking. The team comprised 3 key members, each crucial to the mission's success. Commander David Castellon, the seasoned military leader. Dr. Jeanette Harrison, a resolute science expert. And Dr. Jim Roberts, the esteemed archaeologist known for his linguistic prowess in deciphering alien cultures. The interstellar starship Constellation, a vessel with impressive scientific scanners and onboard advanced functions carrying Delta S1, approached Hydra Kaon 5 after a lengthy traverse through the cosmos, navigating many parsecs of alien territories. As the team descended onto the planet's surface, an unsettling atmosphere enveloped them. The landscape was dominated by vast stretches of strange, bright red sand, interrupted only by an expansive body of beautiful, sparkling blue water, similar to the Caribbean. Unfazed, the team donned their specialized suits and submerged in an aquatic vehicle that was specifically brought on the Constellation for this mission, descending into the unknown depths in pursuit of the long-lost city. Beneath the water's surface, it was dark and murky, with poor visibility from all sides. The team searched for what seemed like hours, dodging native marine wildlife and waterborne fauna. But then, after they began to feel like it was a wasted excursion, an underwater canyon presented itself. The opening was small, just about large enough for them to fit their craft through, which they should have realized was very convenient. Maybe coincidences do happen, or maybe not. As the craft moved into the deepest parts of the canyon, a shuddery, rumble-like vacuum violently pulled them further down than they intended to go. Then, over the brow of a cliff, an immense, breathtaking sight. It looked spookily like an old, abandoned, ancient, massive city. Could it be the ruins of Atlantis? Well, only time would tell. But a question they had was, why was the pressure of the immense ocean not crushing the buildings? The city revealed itself in a breathtaking display of otherworldly grandeur, but with no signs of life. The crew were cautious. The crew moved further in and cruised closer until they saw what looked like a docking port on the eastern side of the docking ring, where they could attempt to land the craft. After docking, they changed into their armored exosuits, always prepared for the unexpected. Led by Commander Castellon, the team opened the airlock, which led them into the eastern block of the city. They started to make their way through the city with their helmet flashlights on, exploring numerous corridors, seeing all sorts of medical labs, mess halls, kitchens, quarters, and various holograms with speeches from the original Greek inhabitants, but nothing that told them the history of Atlantis. Finally, Delta S1 found the main control room, a dark and dingy space filled with ominous control panels, which hadn't been in use for a long time. Dr. Jeanette Harrison started to see if she could start up the main control console to understand the situation a little better. A few of the backlit keys on the panel lit up one by one, but as the joy of perceived success was happening, a terrifying series of crashes in a distant room was heard, which made the entire team jump. Dr. Harrison said to the others, "If we're alone here, what the hell was that noise?" Dr. Roberts took a stroll into the next room and noticed that alien letters similar to hieroglyphics had appeared on the wall. As he deciphered them, he realized it was ancient Greek, and it said, "We are not from here. Beware. Danger." Initially a little shook, Dr. Roberts called the remainder of the team to the room to see. Then, just at that moment, another crash occurred. The team moved towards the sound, moving through another 9 rooms until they found what they thought was the source of the danger. The door to the room was ajar. They pushed it open, and they were led into some sort of alien morgue, filled with slightly levitated pods of unknown origin. Dr. Harrison decided to take the lead and carefully pulled back the sheet of one of the corpses. One thing was for certain: it wasn't human. The creature had melted flesh, and its limbs seemed to exist half in this realm, and the rest were missing. Not cut off, but human eyes couldn't see them. Another dimension, maybe. After walking around the morgue for a little while longer, the team were very confused as to what they were observing. But then, a city siren went off at full volume, making everyone jump back. Within minutes, the most terrifying event possible happened. The dead aliens in the pods, well, they were dead no more. Their eyes glowed a sinister green, growls murmured, and the vicious-looking aliens started to levitate off the bed and floated in mid-air. Then, their heads turned to the crew, and in a demonic-sounding tone, talked to them in an unknown alien language. Dr. Roberts quickly realized it was a really old ancient Greek dialect. The aliens said that they had been awoken, and once they awoke, anyone outside of their species needed to die, whilst being drained of their life force. The team's linguistic expert then put forward a hypothesis as to who these aliens were. They were the ancient Greek people who founded the city of Atlantis. It became apparent that a cosmic pathogen had attacked Atlantis whilst in Greece, transforming its inhabitants into these horrifying extraterrestrial beings centuries ago to make them spaceworthy, after they were inexplicably abducted by an unknown force. The team's shock turned to horror as the aliens, now reanimated, attacked with a ferocity that no human could muster. Glowing eyes pierced the darkness, and the team found themselves embroiled in a desperate struggle for survival against creatures that were once part of Earth's most illustrious civilization, but now used powers such as telekinesis and telepathy, armed with talons and sinewy half-dead limbs, with a ferocious need for death to be inflicted on the visitors. Panic set in as the team fought their way through the labyrinth of hallways and tunnels that made up the city, running as fast as they could, firing their weapons backward at the husks. Discovering quickly that the exit had been concealed with an alien stealth camouflage, rendering escape seemingly impossible. Commander Castillon, the embodiment of steadfast leadership, directed the team to regroup and devise a strategy to break through the alien defenses. Dr. Harrison, driven by scientific curiosity, analyzed the alien technology around her and in labs that she had visited, searching for weaknesses at any cost. Simultaneously, Dr. Roberts delved into the ancient inscriptions he had collated, unraveling the mysteries of the cosmic pathogen that had befallen Atlantis. The inscriptions told a chilling tale of a dark force from beyond the stars that had targeted Atlantis for its advanced knowledge and unique culture. The cosmic pathogen, a dark, demon-like entity of unknown origin, had twisted the very fabric of reality, abducting the ancient Greeks and transforming them into grotesque beings of destruction. The aliens, now a warped version of their former selves, sought to spread the pathogen and assimilate other civilizations into their nightmarish collective. Everywhere they turned, as they moved through the city at a pace, were dead bodies of the fallen. Some were original citizens, while strangely, some were aliens of unknown origin. Armed with this newfound understanding, the team crafted a daring plan. They would exploit the aliens' attraction to technology and energy sources to create distractions, leading the creatures away from their hidden exit. Commander Castion's military prowess and strategic acumen came to the forefront as they fought a guerrilla war against the relentless alien invaders on their home turf. After a series of intense battles, the team successfully breached the alien camouflage thanks to Dr. Harrison's hacking abilities, who was able to infiltrate the mainframe and bring down the cloaking field. A few minutes later, the team made their way back to the surface. Sprinting towards their craft, they were pursued by the relentless aliens. After boarding in a final stand, Commander Castion ordered the Marine craft's weapons to eliminate the pursuing creatures at the airlock, buying the team just enough time to initiate the startup procedure and narrowly escape into their aquatic vessel. After getting back to the safety of the starship constellation and ascending from Hydrochaon 5, the team gazed back at the once lost city of Atlantis, now a haunting reminder of a cosmic pathogen's insidious influence. The journey back to Earth was marked by a somber atmosphere, haunted by the terror they had faced beneath the waters of Hydrochaon 5. Upon their return to Earth, the Delta S1 team shared their harrowing experience with the United Earth Alliance leadership. The revelation of an ancient civilization succumbing to a cosmic pathogen and transforming into monstrous extraterrestrial beings sent shockwaves through the Interplanetary Federation. Earth's leaders were both fascinated and terrified by the implications of the Atlantis mission. As Delta S1 underwent debriefing and analysis, they began to feel a little off, somewhat faint, and just not right, but they couldn't put their finger on the issue. Unbeknownst to them, the aliens had injected a dormant seed within each of them without the team's knowledge, waiting for the right moment to awaken. Days turned into weeks, and the team members resumed their normal lives on Earth. Commander Castion resumed his duties overseeing strategic military operations. Dr. Harrison delved back into her scientific commitments, and Dr. Roberts continued his archaeological studies. However, subtle changes began to manifest within their behavior, disturbing nightmares of alien landscapes, cosmic destruction, and the ongoing feeling of dread. One fateful night, the dormant seeds within the Delta S1 members simultaneously activated. They awoke with a chilling realization that the aliens from Atlantis were not entirely eradicated. The cosmic pathogen had left an insidious mark, a connection that transcended the space-time continuum. The team members, now unwitting vessels for the remnants of the alien consciousness, found themselves mentally drawn back to Atlantis. In their dreams, they navigated the city's desolate corridors in an almost predator-like vision, seeing things they couldn't see when they visited, encountering grotesque remnants of the once proud civilization. It became apparent that the cosmic pathogen sought to reclaim its lost subjects, using the Delta S1 members as conduits. As the team struggled to comprehend the surreal nightmares haunting their sleep, real-world consequences began to unfold. Strange occurrences manifested, objects levitated, lights flickered without cause, and whispers of ancient languages and dialects echoed in the team's minds. The cosmic pathogen was attempting to bridge the gap between Earth and Atlantis, merging the two worlds in a horrifying synthesis. Fearing the impending catastrophe, the Delta S1 members sought the guidance of Earth's top scientists and medical professionals. Dr. Harrison's scientific mind clashed with the arcane knowledge of the Alliance's doctors as they worked tirelessly to sever the connection with Atlantis. The team's sanity hung in the balance as they confronted visions of alien horrors invading Earth. Were they premonitions or part of an inhuman transformation? In a climactic struggle between science and non-scientific methodologies, the team members tapped into their unique strengths. Dr. Harrison, guided by scientific principles, developed a cutting-edge technological device aimed at disrupting the alien connection. Simultaneously, Dr. Roberts immersed himself in ancient rituals, attempting to channel the mystical forces needed to banish the cosmic pathogen. Commander Castion, caught in the crossfire between scientific and other approaches, felt the weight of leadership and the burden of his team's fate. As the final confrontation unfolded within the confines of a specially designed containment chamber, the team members were engulfed in an otherworldly maelstrom. The device hummed with energy, slowly disrupting the cosmic pathogen's influence, whilst Dr. Roberts chanted ancient incantations to create a mystical barrier. The room quivered with an unnatural resonance as the Delta S1 members battled the alien forces within them. In a gut-wrenching twist, the cosmic pathogen fought back with a last-ditch effort. The walls of the containment chamber seemed to bleed with alien symbols as the team members writhed in agony. The air itself crackled with a despicable energy, and reality itself seemed to warp with distortion. As the team members teetered on the brink of despair, a haunting apparition materialized before them. An amalgamation of their worst fears and the visage of the ancient aliens from Atlantis. The cosmic pathogen, in a final act of defiance, attempted to assimilate the Delta S1 members into a collective consciousness. Just as the team felt they were making strides at reversing the tides of the cosmic infection trying to control them, they all screamed in agony and pain as they had the most overwhelming headaches and fell to the floor. When they each awoke, they recognized each other and could hear each other's thoughts, like a hive mind. But they felt they couldn't think for themselves, and the unrelenting feeling to leave the ship had completely overtaken their minds. Once each of the 3 team members were fully awake and ready, they proceeded to forcibly break out of the device using their newfound telekinetic powers. They grabbed weapons to use from the nearby armory and fought their way as quickly as they could to the teleportation lab. Once there, Dr. Harrison, or whoever she is now, punched in a site-to-site transport to the interstellar ship in the dockyard that they originally traveled to Atlantis with, dealing with the soldiers guarding the ship's perimeter as they reached the precipice. Alarms went off around Earth Alliance HQ, knowing an unauthorized teleportation had occurred. Guards rushed to find the cause, but there wasn't enough time. The team, or alien hybrids as they are now, decrypted the security, boarded the ship, and initiated the launch procedure with a destination set as Hydra Chaon 5. The ship hangar gate opened, ion impulse thrusters were fully initiated, and the ship powered its way away from the United Earth Alliance and back to the watery planet, the new home of the lost city of Atlantis. As the United Earth Alliance grappled with the repercussions of the Atlantis mission, and now Delta S1 in mid-transformation, illegally on their way back to Hydra Chaon 5, under the influence of an alien contagion driven by some primal viral propensity to go home, Earth's leaders were left wondering what to do. They had a lot of questions, such as, were the 3 team members of Delta S1 the only people affected? How deep did the contagion go? How did S1 even get infected on Atlantis? And what do they do about the problem? Send warships? A fleet? Or leave the problem as is? An immediate meeting of the United Earth Alliance Council was called, with this issue being the only line of discussion on the agenda. The council members discussed it for hours and deliberated about the pros and cons, potential ramifications, and what the best strategy would be. They initiated discourse with military strategists, civilian leaders, and politicians to understand a broad range of viewpoints, but a decision had not yet been reached. So what will the United Earth Alliance do moving forward? Will they go after the alien hybrids of Delta S1? Will they learn the true nature of Atlantis? And will a rescue trip be worth the dangers that will come Earth's way? Check out Part 2, coming soon, where we'll explore the fate of Delta S1, the United Earth Alliance, and find out what will become of the lost city of Atlantis, with alien hybrids of the ancient Greeks populating the city. So with that, stay tuned for more coming soon. Hey everyone, and welcome back. I hope, like me, you enjoyed this one and are looking forward to the continuation of yet another epic sci-fi horror story arc. So if you're enjoying stories just like this one, please like this video to help YouTube know how much you dig it. Please subscribe to the channel, and if you want to stay notified, hit the bell for all notifications. Remember, if you have some amazing sci-fi horror stories that you'd like to be read out by me on the channel, send them to my email, which you can find on both the channel and video descriptions, including how you wish to be credited, and I'll get around to reading them soon. So, thanks again, and I'll catch you for our next story.